and welcome to Viva La Action, the show where we're talking all things action movies, the good, the bad, and the underrated. My name is Santi, and with me as always is my family, Grayson.
Hello, that's me.
Salute me, familia.
Yeah,
How you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. As we were talking about, I just got off of therapy.
Yeah,
I didn't get off on the therapy, but I got off of the therapy. Um,
different kind of therapy.
yeah, I'm on that therapy right into
Yeah,
my
there you go.
veins.
Straight in there.
uh, I, uh, how do we do this?
You got me. I don't know.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Uh, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Um,
Movie. Nice.
we talk movie on this show.
Yeah, we do.
And this week we talk movie, Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
Did you watch the movie?
No, I didn't watch the movie for our podcast.
God damn it! All right, end the recording.
No. I did. This was actually the very first time that I've ever watched this movie.
Really?
I've only seen 5 through 9.
Huh. I think I've seen all of them. Yeah. I haven't seen
Oh,
all of
well.
them multiple times, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're if you can't tell from the title, we're talking The Fast and the Furious. Uh
Yeah.
the very first Fast and the Furious. It is from 2001. It is an action car racing drama film. It's directed by Rob Cohen, with a screenplay by Gary Scott Thompson, Eric Bergquist, and David Ayer. We will talk about David Ayer later because he's done some other stuff that you probably recognize. Um, the film stars one Vincent Diesel as
Hell yeah.
Brian O'Connor. Oh no.
Nice.
I looked at my notes
Yeah.
wrong. He's
Yeah,
Dom
yeah.
Toretto.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because so you've only seen 5 through 9 mostly. You haven't seen 2 or 3 or 4. Okay. So what's funny about this one, as opposed to all the ones that you've seen, did you notice that it's weird that everybody calls him Dominic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
nobody
thought
was calling him Dom.
Yeah, I thought that was funny because in all the later movies they're just like, "Come on, Dom," and in this one they're like, "Dominic."
There's probably a reason they started calling him Dom because of that.
It's too long.
It is. It's very long. Dominic. Yeah, it's 3 syllables.
Yeah, it's because not. I mean, my full name is Santiago, right?
Yeah.
But nobody calls me that. Everybody calls me Santi because Santiago is too much. It's
Yeah.
too much to say. So, um, but everybody calls you Grayson.
Yeah, but that's only 2 syllables.
That's true. Mine is Santiago. Mine's 4. 4 syllables.
That's too many syllables.
It is too many syllables. Yeah. So we got Vincent Diesel as Dominic Toretto.
Oh, you're gonna say Brian again.
Paul Walker as Brian O'Connor. Michelle Rodriguez as Letty. Jordana Brewster as Mia, and then we got Ricky Yoon as Johnny Tran. The squarest man in this movie.
Yeah.
He was so square. He's very angular, that guy.
Yeah. Do you notice the guy? Oh, fuck, I forget his name. He was in Supernatural though. He was Ash.
Oh yeah, the guy who plays Jesse. Yeah,
Jesse. Yeah.
yeah.
I was
He's in
watching. I was like, he's in Supernatural.
Yes, he is. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff. He's one of those
Yeah.
guys that just pops up in things, and you're like,
What
"There's
the
that
fuck?
guy."
Yeah. No, he's very good in this movie. I really enjoyed it.
He is good, and I think he has one of the more brutal deaths, I think, in the Fast and the Furious franchise. Dude
Yeah.
just gets oozied.
Yeah.
just on the street.
Yeah. Try not to blow out the fucking mics.
That's okay.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I really like Jesse. I think he was a fun character.
He was fun. He's got a great line where he's like, what does he say? He's like, Brian is like, oh, dude, you should have gone to MIT. And he's like, I can't. I have that attention thing. And he's like, oh, attention deficit disorder. He's like, yeah, that shit.
Yeah.
Great line delivery.
Oh, it's perfect.
The film has a 55% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which I was kind of surprised by. I always think like the very first in a franchise usually has like the highest rating.
Yeah. You know which one does have the highest rating?
It's 5.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Or it's either 5 or 7. One of those has like a 90-something%.
Lord.
And then it like drops back off again. Like I think 8 has like a 60% and 9 has like a 40-something. But
understandable.
We'll talk about like the ranking of the movies, like where we put them, which I guess we can do now. So of the ones you've seen, where do you put this one?
Let's see.
For the people not watching on YouTube, Grayson just did a real big yawn.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to remember them. So I'm gonna have to put 7 at number 1, just for the street fight always wins.
Oh yeah, iconic.
Yeah. And then I think 5, and then 9.
Okay.
And then I can't remember what happened in 6 or 8.
6 is the one where they're in London, and
oh, that's where we get introduced to what's his nuts.
To Shaw.
Yeah.
Not Deckard Shaw, but his brother.
Brother, yeah. And they kill his brother, right?
They maim him, but he doesn't die.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They maim him, and then Deckard Shaw comes and is like, "Hey, you fucked up my brother. I'm gonna fucking kill you now." Okay, that's right. And then what happened in 8?
8 is the one with Charlize Theron where Dom goes bad for a lot of the movie.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So, ranking 7, 5, 9. We'll go, and then 1, 8, 6.
Okay, that's fair. So for me, because I've seen all of them, my feelings are like very like set.
Yeah.
Because I've seen all of them multiple times. We should say like this is a franchise that you and I have like loved and bonded over for like 5 years now.
5 years, yeah.
I think I showed you 7 as like I did like for my birthday one time I did like a marathon of like all my favorite movies.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
I think the last movie we watched was Furious 7. Just fucking because I was like, you guys don't understand. Like this movie
is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's like tongue in cheek, like fun and like anyway.
Yeah.
So we both love these movies, but
yeah,
I don't feel like anybody in the entire world loves them like the way that I love them.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like this is how it goes, right? All right. Number 1 for me is 5. 5 is just like it's tight, it's fun, it's got like the best car chase at the end. It's just like it's the peak. Number 2 is 7. 7's great.
Okay. Yeah,
it's just like it's quick, it's breezy, it's like it's got all those silly lines, like it has the like it's got like the dumbest plot, I think. Like anyway, 7 is fantastic.
Aside from 9, yeah, it definitely has like the dumbest plot.
Yeah. Okay, after 7, it's probably I would say 6. After 7 is probably 6. 6 is great. Like, it's not the best one in the franchise, but it's just good. Like, it's just a good movie. Then I'd probably put 1 because you got to give respect to the one that started it all. It's just,
So true. So true.
After 1, I would put 3 because I really like Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
That's the one that gets a lot of crap, but I really like it because it's very silly. After Tokyo Drift, I would put 8 because even though I really like 8, I don't think it has the strongest plot. I think it's kind of got some plot holes, but the action
Yeah.
in it is really good.
Yes.
After 8, I put 9 because 9, I just rewatched it like last week.
Mm.
The first time I watched it, I didn't love it. And I think it was just because, like, for me, I feel like 7 and 8 have like the perfect balance of like absurdity, but you don't lose like not the realness, but like they feel more like grounded, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas 9 got very stupid. And like
Yeah.
I don't like rewatching it. I had a lot of fun with it because there's a lot of like good stuff in it. But I think 9 like almost goes too far into like absurdity. Like
Yeah.
you got to temper the absurdity like a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anyway, so I put 9 there. Then I put 2 because 2 is like it doesn't have most of the main cast. Like it's mostly just Paul Walker, and it's like I don't hate Paul Walker, but he's not who I bought the ticket to see. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And then right at the bottom is 4, and that's just because 4 is boring.
Nice. Well, they
Which, like, if you're making a Fast and Furious movie, like, don't make a boring one, you know?
right. It's in the title. It's gonna be fast and it's gonna be furious.
That's right. Which, to bring it all the way back, what did you think of The Fast and the Furious?
It was very good. I enjoyed it immensely. It was nice to kind of see origin stories and kind of how it all got started.
Yeah.
Um, Dom and Brian are very, very young.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, like thinking about this movie and then like the last movie that Paul Walker was in,
Hmm.
or the last Fast and Furious movie that he was in, like they're so young.
Yeah.
Um, and I can see what people say that like this movie was like all about racing. Like there was
Yeah.
no international espionage. There was no dropping out of a C-130 in a
Yeah.
car, parachuting down onto the road.
Hmm.
It was good old fashioned street racing, which
Yeah.
that was cool.
It is cool. And it's also about, like, stealing DVD players, which is a
Yeah,
very 2001 plot.
you're right. You remember those fucking they put them on like CDs and movies
Mhm.
like before you would watch a movie and they're like you wouldn't steal a
Yes.
car. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what this felt like.
Yeah, I still like periodically I think about that ad and then the song from those ads gets stuck in my head
Yeah.
because it was like
Yep. Yep. And there's just like all the scuff fucking footage of like people stealing shit and it's like
Yeah.
super flashy and I'm like,
Mhm.
calm down.
If anybody has seen the IT Crowd, they do a very funny parody of that ad in that show, and it's like the regular like you wouldn't steal a purse, but then it like escalates very quickly, and it's like you wouldn't steal a policeman's hat and then take a giant shit in it. It's just,
Nice.
people should go
That's
look that
pretty
up.
good.
It's very
Yeah.
funny. But yeah, it is fun. This one is like because I watched 9 and then I watched this one, which was probably kind of a
Uh-huh.
mistake, but
Yeah.
um and this one is just like so it's so grounded, like
Yeah.
comparatively, like the biggest stunt that they do in this one is like there's that jump at the end like over the train and then
Oh yeah.
before that it's like the car going under the semi truck and they
Yeah.
do it a few times but um what I really liked about this movie is like when you compare it to other movies from like 2001, it's very like fast paced. It's
It
like
is.
they kind of don't mess like the opening scene is like a car heist, and it's like very tense and like, you know, just kind of hits the ground running. And then from there, you basically get a car chase like every like, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And they don't like
Yeah.
waste too much time on any one scene. Like there's a lot of talking, but it's not like people just like blabbing forever. It's like they do a little bit and then they move on to the next thing, and then it's a car chase. And then they do a little bit and they move on to the next thing and it's a car chase. Um, and I also think it's funny that in this movie, it's like Dom is like, he's not this like unstoppable force in this one.
Yeah.
Because definitely like in later movies, he's just a straight up superhero. Like in
Yeah.
9, he pulls down like a concrete silo like by himself, you know,
Yeah.
like whereas in this one, he's like he gets like his arm broken and he gets
Yeah.
like shot and like all this other
Yeah.
stuff. And he's like, you know, he's not like an invincible superhero. He's like he's just a car racer guy who
Yeah. He's
happens to be
some
kind of
dude.
strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of smart, but not that smart.
Yeah. It's like he's just got like average intelligence.
Yeah. Which, you know,
Um, yeah, that's fine. I really did also like because you mentioned that heist at the beginning,
mhm,
and as the movie goes, we're made to believe that it was just like this other, like, it was like, I guess, a motorcycle gang or something. It was
yeah,
the people stealing all the fucking uh DVDs and shit.
yeah,
Um, but then we find out it was actually Dom
mhm.
pulling off these heists, uh, which I thought was a great twist. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it is a good I mean, the first time I watched it, I think I knew it was gonna be Dom at the end because there had to be some sort of conflict to happen, you know?
Yeah.
But, um, I think if you're not looking for it, it's a good twist. I think the other, like, interesting twist in this one is that they don't actually reveal that Brian is a cop for, like, 10
For a
minutes.
while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty like watching it this time, I was like, "Oh, man, they really kinda hold that back until, like, right kind of, like, towards the, like, middle of the movie," which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of this movie is kind of like you've never seen Point Break, but this movie is very similar to Point Break in the sense that it's like it's about, like, an undercover agent, like, trying to infiltrate, like, a criminal organization that's based around like a sport. So
Hmm.
in Point Break, it's about surfers, right? So it's like Keanu Reeves is like an undercover like FBI agent, and he's
Oh, we
trying to
gotta
like
watch this.
it's so good. Point Break is amazing, but so Fast and Furious is funny because it's kind of like a ripoff of Point Break, but it's about car racers. Um,
That's incredible.
and I love them both. Don't get me wrong, but what I like about this one is like I feel like his transition into being like part of the crew feels pretty organic. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel forced. Like he's already like a good driver, right? Like Brian is like he doesn't really know what he's doing with these like souped up Honda Civics, but at the same time he's like he's a good driver and he knows what he's doing. And so
Yeah.
when he's in the race and he's like bonding with the other racers and stuff, he doesn't feel out of place.
Yeah.
And I do like that they do a good job of like making it very obvious that like one of the things that I really like about the Fast and Furious movies, right, is that like it's a very diverse cast, right? Like if you think about it now, like there's not really I mean the main cast is mostly African American and Hispanic people, right?
Yeah.
Like Vin Diesel is mixed race, right? Like he's
Right.
always been kind of vague about like what I like about it is like Paul Walker is kind of the only like white guy in
It's
the
the token
cast.
white guy.
Yeah. And
It's for
but
diversity reasons.
but what I think is cool about that is that when he's then like in the like street racing,
Yeah.
he stands out, right? He's this like fish out of water. And so
Yeah.
all the other racers are like, what the fuck's up with this guy? And a bunch of them like immediately are like, that guy's a cop.
Yeah. Which it makes sense because I mean these guys they always are looking out for cops because what they're doing is illegal,
Hmm.
and so it kind of makes sense. They're like they just immediately pegged them as, oh yeah, that's a cop.
Yeah.
But Dom
Which
was
is
like,
fun.
which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah. I do like so this movie, like, it came out in 2001, right? And
June
June of
20.
2001. Yep. And let me tell you something. This is probably the most 2001 movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, 100%.
The fashion is
Oh,
crazy.
I literally Letty's glasses that she was
Yes.
like always wearing.
Mhm.
That is quintessential 2001.
Yeah, everybody's eyebrows, they're always those,
Yep.
like, they're like thin and like arched up, and like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's wearing crop tops
Oh yeah, the amount of crop tops there were, holy fuck.
and baggy pants.
Yeah.
Like Brian, all of Brian's outfits are just like he looks like he's like getting ready to go parachuting. Like he's just wearing like
Or do a fucking kickflip or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, "Wow, look at
Yeah.
that!"
Yeah. That was it was a time. I think we should bring it back, honestly.
Well, what's funny is like how much of it does look like modern fashion, because like fashion goes in cycles or whatever. And I
Yeah.
feel like right now, like baggy clothes are kind of back, like in vogue. And so it's funny now because I'm watching it, I'm like, "Oh, that's something that somebody would wear now," or like that's whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Letty's outfits in particular are just like,
Are
good
just so
lord.
so good. Also, she was so badass in this movie.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's always
Uh
been great, but she's really good in this.
yeah. Doesn't what movie does she die in?
She dies in 4.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
dies in 4. She gets amnesia in 4. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. Because there was that horrible accident in this one, and I was like, is
Mhm.
this where she dies? No, she just got banged up pretty bad.
Yeah. No, she comes back, so she like dies in 4. She's not in 5, and then she comes back in 6.
Yeah, that's right.
What's kind of funny about Fast and Furious, like the most recent movies when you watch them, the main character is Dom, right? Like
Yes.
he is the character you follow, like he kind of everything centers around him. But when you watch this one and 2, the main character is Brian, which I think is
Yeah.
interesting. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of a different perspective, and it's interesting how it changes later because it's very obvious now that like Fast and Furious is like that's Vin Diesel's like baby,
Yeah.
like it's his franchise. And like fair enough, whatever. He puts up the money for it, so it might as well be. But
Yeah.
um it is interesting now watching this one and being like, oh, like Brian was supposed to be like the center of this. But I think people
Yeah.
didn't like I can't speak for everybody, but like I don't like him as much as I like Vin Diesel.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Which is
Um,
nothing against him, but like Vin Diesel he is a good actor, like just
yeah.
generally. But I think what he brings to it is a very like easy kind of charisma. Like I think people
Yeah.
make fun of him now because he's like supposed to be sexy, but he's like he looks like an egg in a vest. Um,
Yeah, pretty much.
but I think in this movie he is very like he's good looking and he's charismatic and he's just
Yeah.
cool. Whereas
He
Brian is
is.
like, "Nyeh,"
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Um, I think, and I haven't seen the other or the next three, like two, three, and
Mhm.
four, but seeing him in like five and six, because Paul Walker died during seven, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Seeing him in those, I think his character kind of grew.
yeah,
And he got better, but yeah, I when I think of Fast and Furious, I think of Vin Diesel.
yeah.
And so and I'm wondering if they had a plan to kind of keep up with the well, I don't know. Cuz the whole cop thing, because he just like leaves the police force, right, and just rides with Dom.
Sort of, because like, so this one ends with like Vin Diesel goes on the run, or sorry, Dom goes on the run or whatever, right?
Yeah.
2, Dom's not even in 2. It's just Paul Walker, and he's back to being, I think he's in the FBI in the second one.
Shit.
And it's like, it takes place in Miami. That's the one where we meet Tej and Roman.
Okay.
And so that one's all about like, it's again about like underground car racing and stuff like that. But he's still a cop in that one. 3 is like, should have been a spin-off movie because it's like completely new characters. Like nobody else shows up in that one. But Vin Diesel appears at the end of 3 in like a post-credits kind of thing. And then in 4, they're all back together, but Paul Walker is still a cop in that one until the very end when he breaks Vin Diesel out of prison. So, yeah, so it's like, I think they were, because what I think the plan was, and I think there's some like writing to kind of back this up. I think the plan was it was going to be like every installment was going to kind of follow like a different narrative. So like, the
Yeah.
first one would be like Paul Walker with Vin Diesel. The next one, he'd be like whatever. But I think people didn't respond as well to 2. And they wanted to bring, because what people liked was kind of the dynamic between Paul Walker and Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
And they wanted to bring them back together, but Vin Diesel didn't want to do it because he didn't really want. Because what's funny about Vin Diesel, when you look at him now, you're like, oh, he's an action star, like he's like whatever. But his career, he kind of started out as like a, almost like Stallone. Like he started out writing and directing, and
Shit.
he was kind of starring in his own movies, and people thought like, oh, this guy's going to be the next like De Niro or whatever, like this kind of award-winning actor. And so he didn't really want to be known for like action movies, and he was like, I don't really want to do another Fast and Furious. But so after 2 and they started to do 3, they went to Vin Diesel and they were like, would you be in 3? And he was like, no, I don't want to. So they started to center it around this other movie. But then he struck a deal with Universal and was like, look, I will be in 4 and I will show up at the end of 3 if you give me the rights to Riddick, which is it's Vin Diesel's like pet sci-fi franchise that he loves. So there's been like 3 Riddick movies, and they make no money. Like they're like these like big budget sci-fi things that nobody watches, but he loves it, right? That's his like baby. And so basically Fast and Furious got to continue with like Vin Diesel and Paul Walker because Vin Diesel was like, okay, I'll keep doing these if you let me make my weird sci-fi movies. And they were like, all right.
Whatever.
And now Fast and Furious makes like $1 billion and he's like a producer on it and all this other stuff. So it's like, I think it worked out for everybody, but
it's so interesting.
Yeah, it is funny to go back to it now and be like, oh, this started out as like a cop drama kind of thing. And now it's, Honda Civics in space or whatever.
It wasn't it a Pontiac?
Oh yeah, it was a Pontiac. Yeah.
Pontiac that they crashed into a satellite. I sent that scene to one of my supervisors, and he was like, "I'm never watching that movie." And I was like, "Why?" It's literally the best part of that whole movie.
It's so good.
It's so fucking ridiculous. And then they get saved by the ISS.
Yes. Which like calls into question so many things. Like how'd they get them out? Like how they We're not talking about 9, but you know what? It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I can't remember. Oh, the other thing about this movie that I love, and that speaks to it being from 2001, is the fucking soundtrack.
Oh, it was so good. Everything like about like as I'm like thinking about it more and more, I like this is just like a good movie.
Yeah, it's so tight. Like it's just
it's so well and it's short.
Yes, yeah, it is short.
It's only like what, hour 40?
Yeah, something like that. Bring
God,
back the hour and a half to hour and 40-minute movie.
I'm sick and tired of these 2.5 hour, 3 hour long movies.
We've
I'm just
said it
sick of it.
before. We'll keep saying it. Bring it back.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna make a 2 hour, give us an intermission.
Yes, I
Because
agree.
I gotta pee, I gotta get water,
Uh-huh.
I might want more snacks. I
Yep.
gotta get up and stretch my fucking legs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to be sitting there for 2.5 hours in a chair that's
No.
kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't know how long the newest one is going to be. I haven't looked it up, but
Watch,
um
it'll be like 5 hours.
uh so I just want to say too, in regards to the latest one, um this is kind of a warning to you, but also to everybody out there. This episode is going to come out, I think. Yeah, this will come out like right after the new one has come out, but um I guess just to talk to you really quick, just put all the other podcast people aside. Be
Yeah.
careful, because apparently some interviewer or some reviewers got a hold of the movie early and they have
Uh-oh.
spoiled something that is like a big reveal in the movie.
Uh-oh.
Um, I have not had it spoiled for me yet,
Okay.
thankfully. But just like, and I
All right.
heard somebody say, like, I listened to this podcast and somebody was like, if you don't know it yet, don't go looking for it, because like it's the kind of thing where you would want that to be revealed in the movie. Um,
Ah,
so just be aware. If you see anything about Fast and Furious, just avoid it until we go see it,
copy that.
which hopefully we'll see it soon. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, this movie's going back to one. It's so tight. It's so good.
It's so fucking good.
And like, oh, go ahead.
No. I had nothing. You go.
I was just gonna say, and like I said, the score is just it's amazing.
It's phenomenal. Who did it?
I don't know who did the score, but the soundtrack is like, it's a lot of like early 2000s artists. But what I think is funny about it is like, now we think of the Fast and Furious as like having a lot of like reggaeton and like hip hop and like um a lot of like Latin influenced music and stuff like that. But in this one, there's a lot of like new metal, which I thought was kind
Yeah.
of funny. Like there's a
Yep.
Limp Bizkit song right at the beginning.
Yep. There is.
I was like, damn, that's a throwback.
Yeah, well, it was 2001.
It's Keep Rolling for anybody who's interested. It's off their album. What is it? Chocolate Starfish and something else.
Limp Bizkit's weird.
They're very weird. I can never make up my mind about Limp Bizkit, because on the one hand, I know that like Fred Durst is a bad person and is
But
probably a
yeah.
very arrogant prick. But on the other
Yeah.
hand, some of their lyrics are so funny. Like
Yeah.
ironically so, but still, like,
Yeah.
I think it's Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Water or something like that.
What the fuck?
I don't know. They're a weird band.
Oh, Limp Bizkit.
For anybody who doesn't know, I used to have a solo podcast about Dungeons and Dragons, and I called it Keep Rolling, which was supposed to be a pun on like rolling dice, but it was also about like that Limp Bizkit song, because I thought that was like a funny thing.
Jeez.
But I had somebody tell me that that could also be like a weed thing, like keep rolling, like rolling a joint.
Oh, yeah.
And like, look, I got nothing against that. I don't partake personally, but I was like, oh, that's not what this is about.
Yeah. I know. Imagine like somebody's like, oh, keep rolling. It's probably about weed. And they start listening. They're like, this is not about weed at all.
No. If anybody's interested, I still have all the episodes up. You can go track it down, but I don't do that podcast anymore because I ran out of stuff to talk about. But um, yeah, Limp Bizkit. There's also a Marilyn Manson song in this movie.
Oh.
I think it's Manson. It could have been Muse, because sometimes they sound similar to me. But
Muse. I haven't heard Muse in a minute.
no one has.
Wow. 2001, simpler times. Well, up until about September, but
Oof. Oof.
yeah.
What happened? I forgot.
Oh yeah, me too. I also forgot what happened, and
They told us never to forget, but I forgot.
but I know, right? It was.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. And we've lost listeners again.
Yep. All right. Well, GG's. Anyway, yes, the movie. The action in this was also very good. I thought it was very funny that anytime there was like a car chase and people were shooting, they were holding the gun sideways and they were not aiming.
Oh no. No.
Like it was like wildly just spraying and hoping something stuck.
Oh yeah.
And it like never did.
No. I do love that scene, like when at the very end, like when the bikers roll up and they drive by, shoot like Jesse,
Yeah.
and it cuts to like Vin Diesel and he's like running from, the bullets, and they
Yeah.
are just going everywhere.
Yeah, they're not even close. And I'm like, boy, what are you running from? You could stand still and
I
be
know.
fine.
Like they're nowhere near him.
I got him.
Oh, you fucker. This movie also it started the tradition in the Fast and Furious movies of the barbecue.
Yep.
You see them cooking up a good BBQ, which is
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
It looked pretty good, to be honest.
Did. I mean, I haven't had like good barbecue food in a really long time.
Oh, me neither. I'm not a big barbecue fan in general, but
That's fair.
yeah,
I for the past like year and a half, I've been craving ribs. Like I haven't had a good rack of ribs in years.
Have you ever been to Rudy's Barbecue?
Yes.
Okay. They have pretty good ribs from what I understand.
I haven't had their ribs. I've had like their brisket and stuff, which is pretty good. Their sauce is good. But yeah, I haven't had their ribs.
I haven't either. I like their turkey. They make a good turkey, like a smoked turkey. It's pretty good. There you go. There's another local reference for you.
Oh yeah.
Got to do one an episode.
Right, exactly.
If anybody's playing bingo out there. I'm trying to think. There was something. Oh, one thing I liked. I felt like the camera movement in this was a lot of fun. Like
yeah,
the director Rob Cohen, he's done some other things that I recognized, but what I think is nice about his directing style is like I felt like his camera is like always kind of moving. Like he's never kind of just static. Like he does a lot of like he tilts the camera to the side and then like puts it back up, and he does like top down and all kinds of like interesting things. The one thing I don't really like that I'm kind of glad they got rid of is I don't really like the street racing scenes, because they do that like Fast and Furious effect where they're like outside the car and then they like zoom into the like inside the car. But it's clearly all like CGI. Like, and it's just for the nighttime like street races. Like when they're doing like the stunt like on the freeway, that's all like practical cars. Like it looks great, but I don't like that like janky like 2001 CGI like zoom in on Vin Diesel's face.
And then they're like shifting into like 11th gear.
Yeah.
You're like, how many? What the fuck? I think that was some of the funniest memes coming out when like these movies were coming out, where it would like it'd be like a picture of like a normal like gear shift. It'd be like normal gear shift, and then a gear shift in Fast and Furious, and it's just like it's like reverse, and then like 1 through 12.
Go ahead.
Watching this movie, I was like, I get it now.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, I am a sucker for it. Like,
same.
Like I like to think of myself as like I'm like an elevated like moviegoer. I'm like, oh, I don't care about like tropes and stuff like that. I just want good movies, right?
Yep.
All of that fucking throw it out the window when I'm watching a Fast and Furious. Like as soon as like they do the zoom in and he's got his hand on the wheel, and then it like cuts to
yeah.
like him stick shifting. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Here
just come every time.
Same. And then the nitrous too, I thought
Oh,
is it's very good.
I love the nitrous thing. Like it
Yeah,
makes no sense. Like
it really doesn't.
I know how it works. Like I know nitrous is a real thing that like street
Yeah.
racers use, but the way they use it like in this movie makes no fucking sense.
No.
And I don't think it's ever made sense, but I do love when they do it where they're like, oh, he thinks he's got me, and then they like take off on the nitrous.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and
fucking sick.
I don't know if it was the first time they did it when somebody used it in the movie, but I like that where like he hit the button and then we like went inside the tubes and like watched the
Yeah,
nitrous and then we like popped out and saw him just take off.
yeah,
I thought that was a cool effect.
that's very 2001. 2001, we were big on like zooming in on something, you know, and like seeing how it exploded.
Yeah.
Like the Twin Towers. No, I.
Yep.
um,
Nice.
Bye, goodbye, listeners.
Adios.
Adios. What was I gonna say? Oh, I feel like this movie too. Like you can really feel like the inspiration from like the Matrix in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Even though this is not like a Matrix style movie, like
No.
just the like way it's shot and like the music is very reminiscent of like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like especially like there's a lot of scenes where they're like I don't know, just doing whatever, like driving, and the music is like bear, 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 and it's
Yeah.
like it's just peak. It's just like so good.
So fucking good. Um yeah, and I love that train scene. I was so like anxious pulling up
Yeah.
because I was like, guys, if you fuck this up, the train's gonna win. Like the street's not gonna save you today.
No.
But I thought after they made that jump and it went all slow-mo,
Mhm.
I was like, this is what it's about.
Hell yeah.
And then I think it's just like from there, they were like, all right, we just gotta up the ante
Oh yeah.
and keep going bigger.
See the
And they did.
oh they did. The first time I watched it and like Dom's car gets hit by the train or you know he's like you see it doesn't get hit by
Yeah,
the train but you see him like skid out and like whatever.
yeah,
There was a part of me because I watched the first one I ever watched was 6, right? So my only perspective was like 6, went back and watched 5 and then saw 7. So it was like that was kind of my like I didn't know anything about like 4 through 1.
yeah,
So then when I went back and watched 1 and I see his car like tumbling and skidding out and stuff, there was a part of me that thought like does Dom die in this one? And then all the other ones, it's like his twin brother, right? Because like
ha,
the movies are so
yeah,
stupid that like I would not put it past them to be like, this isn't Dom, this is Ron, you know, like
yeah, yeah. Romanic,
yeah, but then he lived and it was fine. But
yeah,
I was like, there was a part of me for a minute that was like, did I misremember? Like, is Dom actually dead? Like,
yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, if if you have never seen these movies, and like you watched like 9, right?
Mhm.
9 was like the very first Fast and Furious movie you watched, and then you went back and watched 1. I think you'd be like, how are these the same franchise?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because I mean, yeah, this like we've said, this one is so grounded. Like it's all about like the street racing
hmm
and uncovering this like smuggling thing,
yeah,
and that's about it.
right.
And 9, they launch a Pontiac into orbit and they crashed into a satellite.
Yeah. I mean, even going like a little bit like in 5, they're like dragging a safe like across Brazil. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah, which physically is not possible because
no,
you don't have enough power in those cars and you would run out of gas so fast.
they have nitrous, okay,
That I forgot about the nitrous.
and
That's right.
the power of family.
So true. Can't forget about family.
You can't forget about family. You also can't forget about fucking Coronas.
I did. Was I dreaming this or something? Did he? Did he say something about Coronas?
Yes, he hands Brian a drink, and he's like, he says something like, "You'll never have to worry about going thirsty here. Here, Corona," and he just like hands it to him.
Yep.
It's fucking
Okay.
phenomenal.
It was so good.
My favorite, so like, because they're known for like that's like their thing, right? Like family barbecue and Corona, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the whole like trope.
Yeah.
My favorite like reveal, like Corona reveal, is in 8 when they go to meet Mr. Nobody, who's like
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he's played by Kurt Russell, and he's like the head spy guy, right?
Yeah.
Is it? No, it's in 7. It's in 7, not 8. Sorry. And Vin Diesel's like, or Kurt Russell's like, "You guys want something to drink?" And Vin Diesel's like, "I don't know if you'll have what I want." And he's like, "Oh, we do." And he pulls out a fucking bucket of Corona and he fucking
Yep.
slaps it on the table. And it's this like slow motion shot of like all the like ice coming out of the bucket, and it's all like sexy. And I'm like, "Oh, that's it right there."
That's perfect. How much money do you think Corona makes off of that?
So much. Like Corona's a like, I don't know anything about beer. I know Corona's a shit beer, right? Like
Yeah.
it just looks bad, right? It's just like
Yeah.
it's piss colored and probably tastes awful.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee there's millions of people who drink Corona just because of these movies.
Oh, I think I've had one Corona in my life, and it was okay.
Yeah,
It was fine. Putting the putting the lime in it makes it a little better, but yeah, it's nothing to write home about.
no. Do you also hold your beer like from the neck, like Vin Diesel does?
No, I hold mine like a dad
Yeah,
with
like
the
from the base.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I feel like holding it by the neck is like not very like
No,
conducive to drinking the beer. You know what
no,
I
because
mean?
then you have to do this like weird thing with your wrist, and it's just
Right.
doesn't make any sense.
It feels like how a little kid drinks like a soda, you know, where they hold it with both
Oh,
hands, you know?
yep, yep. And then they spill it everywhere, and you're like, that's disgusting.
Mhm. One thing I wanted to point out from this movie that really has nothing to do with the movie at all, but I feel like Vin Diesel in this movie is the last time we have seen, and probably will see for a long time, a sexy guy who is balding. Like actively balding. Like,
Yeah,
because in all the other ones, he's clean shaven, right? He's like
yeah,
shiny as all hell. But in
yeah.
this one, he's still got the ring, you know, he's got kind of the
Oh
ring of
yeah,
hair, and he's got it's
yeah,
like patchy on top. And I'm
yeah.
like, that is so bold.
It
Like,
really is.
that's the last time we're gonna get a sexy action star who's like got male pattern baldness, you know?
Yeah.
Because now it's all plugs and hair extensions and whatever. Vin Diesel was like, you're gonna see my shiny ass.
Yep. And you're gonna fucking like
You're gonna
it. And
fucking
we
like
did.
it. Yeah. It's like that era where The Rock still had a little hair, you know? Like
Oh
before
yeah.
he became the boulder, you know, back when he was still just The Rock.
Yeah. The
And he had
pebble.
the like little bit of hair right here.
Oh
Reminds
yeah.
me of that, you know?
Like wrestling days.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he has like the sort of the flat top kind of thing.
Yep.
I love Vin Diesel's balding crown. I think it's great.
Oh, it's wonderful. Big old egg-shaped head.
He's also so ripped in this. Like,
He
like
is. Like, I don't know why like they had him so fucking jacked.
he is jacked as all, and I'm like, he's not
But
exercising. Like, why is he so
no.
muscular?
He's just born that way. Popped
I
out the
guess
womb, six-pack.
so. And like, don't get me wrong, he's still like a very fit man,
Yeah.
but he's almost 60 now, you know? So it's like
He's almost 60? No,
he's
that's a lie.
he's mid 50s.
That's a fucking lie.
It's not a lie.
I gotta look this up.
He's older than The
How?
Rock.
What? How old? Tom Cruise is 60.
Yeah.
How old is Vin Diesel? 55 years old.
Yep.
When this photo popped up, I'm so tired that when his photo popped up, he's wearing the same type of glasses that Mr. Worldwide wears. And I was like, did I accidentally Google how old Mr. Worldwide is?
Like, wait a minute, is that Pitbull?
Yeah. He came to Albuquerque.
He did. He was here like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah. Anyway.
305. Would you like some Vin Diesel fun facts?
Absolutely. Always.
Here's my first Vin Diesel fun fact. He's a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan.
Yes.
So there's a movie, it's called The Last Witch Hunter, stars Vin Diesel. It is based on his favorite D&D character that he's ever made.
No way.
Yes way. It's not a very good movie, but we should talk about it at some point because I think it's very fun.
Hell yeah. I'm down.
And knowing it's based on a D&D character makes it all the better.
Oh, I imagine so, yes.
So there's that. My second one, do you want to know what Vin Diesel's real name is?
What?
It's Mark Sinclair.
Mark
Sinclair, yes.
Huh. Well, there you have it.
Yep, there you have it.
Mark Sinclair. Did he get a middle name?
I'm sure he does, yeah. Would you like a third Vin Diesel fun fact? I have so many.
Yes. Yeah. Go for it.
Vin Diesel has a twin brother.
Who?
I don't know. His name's probably Matt Sinclair. I don't know.
Hold on, I gotta look this up. Vin Diesel.
Really... Twin brother. He doesn't really look like him because I think his brother still has hair, but yeah, he's got a twin brother.
Dear God, I wish I could spell Vin Diesel twin brother. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Brothers. Damn, well, would you look at that?
Yep.
His name is Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they kind of look the same, but yeah, he's like Paul has like full head of hair, beard, and mustache, and Vin Diesel is a shiny newborn baby.
Yeah, I don't know if they're identical twins. I think they might be fraternal, but they're twins. All right, here's my fourth and final Vin Diesel fun fact. Okay. Which, by the way, this is the very first episode of our spin-off podcast that we were originally going to do, which was going to be called Vinsane and the Membrane. Where we were just going to watch Vin Diesel movies. But so this is the first episode of that. And this is your final Vin Diesel fun fact. Vin Diesel in real life once rescued somebody from a burning car.
Oh.
Yep. You could look that up. It's a real news story. I thought it was fake for a long time, but it really happened. He was driving along. He saw somebody get into an accident and the car was like on fire and he ran and grabbed him and got him out.
Huh.
Yep. He seems like a nice man. Yeah.
Pretty good.
He seems like a nerd who got famous, which I think is funny.
Yeah. I think that is funny.
He kind of acts like one.
Yeah. I think you were showing me like he was like live streaming or something, or it was like an interview. And yeah, he's just like a huge nerd. He and fucking what's his nuts? The guy who plays The Witcher.
Oh, Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Henry Cavill, yeah. Huge nerds. Like there's I actually just watched an interview with Henry Cavill the other day, and he immediately just started talking about World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then there was another one where somebody brought up Warhammer, and Vin Diesel, like not Vin Diesel, Henry Cavill, like his eyes got wide and he shut everybody up and he just went for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, well, Henry Cavill famously almost missed his Superman audition because he was playing The Witcher, like the video game.
Nice. Nice.
And not paying attention. Yeah, he's
Fuck,
a
I gotta
huge
go.
nerd. Yeah. I love nerds who accidentally get famous. It's well, some of the time. Sometimes you end up with an Elon Musk, but
Yeah.
you know,
But
sometimes you get a Henry Cavill.
And Vin Diesel. They're great.
And they are great. Yeah. I know some people have their issue with Vin Diesel because he's kind of turned like Fast and Furious into his like ego project, which like fair enough. But at the same time, I don't know. He seems like he doesn't take himself too seriously, which I appreciate, you know.
Yeah.
And what do you expect? He's an old man. Like, you know.
He is. I know. Yeah, he's getting to the retirement age, so he can kind of just do whatever he wants.
Yeah. And it's like they make $1 billion. Like he doesn't have to do anything. Like he just shows up and he's like, and then all of a sudden he's got $1 billion.
Family. Yeah. Just family once, and that's it.
Yeah. But that's those are all my Vin Diesel fun facts.
Well, they were very fun.
Thank you. I had something else I was going to say. Do you have anything other thoughts about the movie?
No, I think I touched on everything.
Okay. Well, I got a few things.
Okay, go for it.
Just from my notes that I took. So one, I think so the big romance in this movie is between Paul Walker as Brian and Mia, who is who's Dom's sister in this, right? And they get married and have a kid in later movies and whatever. And it's all well and good. I think their chemistry is okay. But you know what? I think this movie would have been a lot more interesting if Paul Walker and Vin Diesel were in love in the movie.
Oh,
because their chemistry is just...
It's off the charts. And it just makes sense, you know?
Like that last moment would be a lot better if instead of like nodding at each other or whatever, it's just they just kissed, you know?
They just make out a little bit. Oh.
Yeah. And imagine the uproar in 2001 if that were to happen. It'd be hilarious.
Oh, it'd be so funny.
I mean, granted, we probably wouldn't have the movie that we have, but...
Yeah. Probably wouldn't have made it to 10 movies either, but...
No. 10 and possibly... Well, so there's going to be 11 for sure.
I thought they were stopping at 10.
No. 10 is going to be 2 parts.
Oh.
And they might make another one too. I read something somewhere this week, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm happy for them to go forever. I want to see Vin Diesel, old man on a walker,
80 years old.
80 years old, like oxygen in, like still driving the Charger, you know?
Yeah.
He's got one tube going into the car, one going into him, nozzle, you know?
Yep, that's it. He's just bypassing oxygen, just going straight nitrous.
Yeah. I want Fast and Furious versus the Transformers.
Fast and Furious v Transformers v King Kong.
Yes, absolutely. V G.I. Joe. I don't care. Throw it all together.
Yeah. Just do a whole mashup.
Yes.
It'd be better. It'll be better than Infinity Wars.
Vin Diesel X Planet of the Apes, you know? I want to see the Dodge Charger fighting Caesar from Planet of the Apes. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, I had another thing I want to say. So the Dodge Charger, right? It's kind of Dom's like iconic car. What I like about it in this movie, and then what I like about it like in later movies, and I'm stealing this from another podcast, but what I like is they treat it almost like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. Like when it comes out, it like roars around a corner and it's just this like animal.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous car, but yeah, it's kind of scary.
It's scary, and it's like it's got a great like sound to it, you know? It's very like I feel like if you sat in it, it would like vibrate you to your bones, you know?
Yeah. In a good way.
In a good way. Yeah. Back in the day, they'd say it was good for like, your bone density or whatever. They'd be like, hey, if you want to, don't want to break any bones, go sit in the Dodge Charger.
Just starting out for a little bit.
Let me see.
The amount of Dodge Chargers he destroys too throughout all these movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, take care of it,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's supposed to be all the same Dodge Charger that he just keeps fixing.
Like a Dean Winchester and his Impala type situation.
Yes. That being said, I feel like at this point it's kind of like what's that old like paradox, the ship of Theseus?
Oh yeah, if you're
replaced. It's at this point, is it really the same Dodge Charger,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
I also think it's funny too, because like in later movies, everybody's driving like an American car. Like everybody's driving like a Mustang or a Dodge Charger or a whatever.
Subaru,
but in this one, it's all like Japanese import cars that they've souped up, which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
I do miss the days of just like jacking up a Honda Civic.
I know. The cars in this were very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I love the paint jobs, and we don't see those paint jobs in these later movies.
No,
like I miss like the weird abstract fucking paint jobs. Bring that back.
I agree. See, if you like that stuff, I think you should watch Tokyo Drift. I think you'll like Tokyo Drift.
Hell yeah.
Because it's all that. Like, it's just 90 minutes of that.
Perfect. That's all I need.
I was going to say something else. I can't remember. I think that's all I got. Just a good movie.
Yeah, solid.
All right. Rock solid. What are you gonna rate it?
As an action movie, seven.
Solid.
7 out of 10.
I get you.
As a Fast and Furious movie, well, we already did my rating. You'll have to go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, 7.
All right. I agree. I think I'm gonna go right there with you, 7. It's solid. It's fun.
Yep.
If it's on, I'm not gonna turn it off. It's a classic.
Yep.
It's just a good movie.
It's solid. I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, and I can see how we got to where we are now from there.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been enough in between that like you can see the progression, I guess.
Yeah, well, and like we kind of got a taste of it in this one with the whole like harpoon gun using to stop the semi truck, right? That was the start of the ridiculousness, and it all it did was go up.
Yeah. Well, and see, I'm gonna make an argument here, right? Because I feel like I've been seeing this going around like on TikTok and stuff this week. I just want to say something, right?
Yeah.
There's this meme that it's like, oh, when do you think the Fast and Furious films lost touch with reality, right? And it's that clip of like The Rock like flexing the cast off his arm in 7.
Yeah.
And like, look, I get it. I understand what people are like. It's easy to make fun of these movies, like, poke fun at them.
Yeah.
But they have never been in touch with reality, right? Like,
right. Yeah. No.
Like they started out ridiculous. They've only gotten more ridiculous. But if you cannot appreciate like the absurdity, and I don't mean this in like I love these ironically. I genuinely like these movies. Like I think they're fun and they're like they know what they are. Like they're self-aware enough to like they don't try too hard to like be philosophically important or like they're just good, easy to watch like popcorn movies, and I think they're great. Like,
oh yeah,
I can't say it enough. Like, I don't love them ironically. I don't love them like because of like I love them because I think they're good, like genuinely good. And if you can't watch a movie that is silly and you can't like turn your brain off enough to be like, this is dumb and it's not real, but it's a movie, I don't want to be your friend. I'm sorry. Like,
just suspend your disbelief for a little bit. It's not that fucking hard.
no, not everything has to be fucking like Oscar bait, like super serious. Everything makes sense. Like, shut the fuck up and just watch the damn movie and just let it go. Like,
watch Dom Toretto say the street fight always wins and then stomp his foot, collapsing an entire parking garage.
Yes.
That's dope as fuck.
Watch two bald men have a wrench fight and they don't have brain damage at the end, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Watch two people drag a safe across Brazil and get away at the end.
Watch them in cars drop out of a C-130 and parachute onto a road and pull off a heist. What is so hard about that?
And you know what? Not to pull this card, right? But fuck you, I'm gonna pull it, okay?
Do it.
I feel like if these movies weren't as diverse, they wouldn't get as much shit.
Oh, 100%.
1,000%. Because people see these as like, oh, they're trashy, they're whatever. And it's like, would you say that if it was a cast of white people? I don't think you would. I think people see it as like lower class, like, oh, that's for like the ethnic types, you know, like fucking everything is ridiculous. Like, I hate when people fucking say that shit where it's like, oh, that really like lost touch with reality. I'm like, fucking spend 2 minutes and watch Batman. Batman is the dumbest, like the one from last year. It's great. I love it. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, all of it is. You know what I mean? None of it's in touch with reality.
Nope.
It's a man in a bat suit. But
it's a grown ass man in latex.
So like, just relax. You know what I mean? Like, take it. Like, the world is on fire. Just enjoy the fucking movie and fucking relax about everything has to be realistic. Like, fuck off. Like,
and if you can't do that, don't watch the movie.
Don't watch the movie. Just don't watch the movie.
Easy.
Yeah.
There were plenty of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were like plenty of movies where I was like, that doesn't look like I'll have fun. I'm not going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't.
Yeah. I don't go, I mean, except for this show, I don't go out of my way to watch bad movies. Like, if a movie comes out and everybody's like, oh, this sucks, I don't go watch it. Because why would I?
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my money on something I'm not going to like.
Right. Like, a perfect example, right? Like, I don't like military movies, right? Like, I don't like fucking American Sniper or like fucking Zero Dark 30 or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't like them, right?
Yeah.
And that being said, I know a lot of those movies are like well received and people like them. So I don't go out of my way to see them and then complain. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Because like I just did that to myself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Know your limits.
Man, it's been a minute since we've had a rant.
No. Just, they're good movies.
They are good.
Damn it.
They're good, and they're like, everybody just needs to chill, you know?
Yeah. Also, like, me liking a movie and you not liking a movie, that we're not hurting each other. Like,
no,
people are allowed to like things.
Mm-hmm.
People are allowed to not like things, and you don't have to like the same things.
Right. You can
I know
like
it's a
stuff.
novel concept, but
and you can like stuff that's stupid.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. Everything's stupid.
Fine.
It's fine.
That's
not everything has to be. No, not everything has to be super serious. Like, changing the world, like fucking art. Like, sometimes you just want to watch just a bald man just loving his family and racing across Brazil or whatever. Like,
yeah, it can be that simple.
It can be. Everybody chill out.
Take a deep breath.
That's my mantra for this episode. Everybody chill out.
Yeah. Breathe.
Okay, I think we need to end the episode now before
yeah.
I make any more 9/11 jokes.
Yeah.
If you liked this episode, how many Vin Diesels out of 5 Vin Diesels should they give us?
6.
6 Vin Diesels out of 5 Vin Diesels.
If you can.
If you can. If you have to give us Mark Sinclair's, that's okay too.
That's fine. We'll take Mark Sinclair's.
We will take Mark Sinclair's in whatever format you'd like. Wherever you're listening to us, just leave us a nice review. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can just tap 5 stars right there, and you can leave a little review right in the app. If you have something you'd like to tell us, or if you'd like to recommend a movie to us, you can email us at vivalaaction@gmail.com. If you want to contact us anywhere else, we're on all the social medias. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube.
And LinkedIn.
We're on LinkedIn.
Not on LinkedIn.
We're on MySpace.
MySpace. Imagine if we were.
I could create a LinkedIn. I'd be like, now hiring for fans. I don't
know. Now hiring fans of our show.
We'll pay you to listen. No.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah. So we're on all the things. Follow us on TikTok. We're doing great over there right now.
I know. I keep getting emails about it.
Yeah. It's like, you have 1,000 likes. And I'm like, I know. I just checked it. You got to get on there and make some TikToks.
I know. I don't know how to use TikTok.
You just hit the thing, and then it tells you how to do it. You hit the little button thing, and then it tells you, hey, this is how you make a TikTok.
Yeah.
And then you
honestly, I would just make TikToks of my dog, honestly.
You could. Half our TikToks have nothing to do with the podcast.
Nice.
So, just do whatever you want, really. Anyway, that's everything, I think. If you want to find Grayson, you'll find them half submerged in a tankard of gasoline, just struggling to wash their hair. And you'll find me at your local burger joint asking if I can get a burger with no burger. I just want a bun.
Yeah, just a untoasted bun.
Untoasted bun with condiments. I want a sandwich.
But no meat.
No meat on the sandwich. All right, that's it.
Well, GG's.
Adios.
Bye.
Go fuck yourself.
Nice.
Keep dropping the mic.
Ah, jeez.